Hello everybody, my name is Damian and welcome back. Today we're gonna start a brand new series on this channel of one of my favorite games of all times, Xcom Enemy Within. For those of you unfamiliar to the game, I'll try to go through most strategic and tactical decisions that I make. For those of you that just enjoy watching yet another random guy having fun with this great game, feel free to point out anything that you would do differently, as I do like to try different strategies every once in a while. And for everybody watching, please do enjoy this wonderful game. That being said, let's jump into the campaign setup. We will be playing on Impossible difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty available in the game. We'll also have armament turned on, which means that every action that we're gonna do is gonna be final, there's no loading chance or anything like that. Because we're playing on Impossible difficulty, both tutorials must be off. I'll also enable both Operation Progeny and Operation Slingshot. Going into the second wave options, I'm going to enable just two of them. The first one is not created equally. By default, all soldiers in Xcom start with the same base stats, and based on their class, those will evolve on a fixed path. This option makes those starting stats random within a certain range. This will make the early game easier, allowing for potentially higher aim soldiers to be available for the early game, which in turn will make the early game a bit less of a dice roll and a bit more strategy influenced, which is the reason why I'm enabling this option. To sort of compensate for this, the second option that I'm enabling is Hidden Potential, which randomizes the stat progression of all soldiers, potentially making those higher stats soldiers on par or even lower stats than if none of those two options would have been enabled. And to ensure that I won't just be picking off the top tier soldiers and make an overpowered team, I will try to maintain a consistent core team of around 8 soldiers that I'll select very early on. Well, that's assuming nobody dies or not too many people get injured. The one exception I'll make to this rule is going to be Annette, not the other three though. More on this when we'll get to that point in the game.
Hello, Commander. In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the Xcom project. You have been chosen to lead this initiative, to oversee our first and last line of defense. Your efforts will have considerable influence on this planet's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed. Good luck, Commander.
I still get chills every time I see that intro. Anyway, we are faced with our first choice of the campaign, and that's where we want to set our headquarters. The first option, North America, provides the air and space bonus. All aircraft and aircraft weapons cost 50% less to purchase, build and maintain. This is a decent bonus, not too good but not too bad either, as we'll be influenced by this from the second month onwards. This will definitely save us some money over the duration of the campaign, but will not help the early game, the most difficult part, that much. Europe then will give us expert knowledge. Laboratories and workshops cost 15% less to build and maintain. This is an excellent option for early game, even mid game, and I might feature a series a bit later on where we start with this continent, but for now I'll pass on this one. Asia gives future combat. All projects in the Foundry and Officer Training School cost 15% less. On any other difficulty, this is an excellent starting option as the Officer Training School is pre-built. However, on Impossible difficulty, the OTS is not pre-built, and depending on the strategy, the Foundry will be delayed by quite a bit, so while this will still be a bonus that I'll try to grab later on, I'll pass on this one for now. Second to last is South America, and we have ways. Autopsies and interrogations are completed instantly. A great early game continent bonus, as this will shave quite a big number of days of our research queue. But this continent has only 2 countries, and as such it is the easiest continent to get, so I actually consider this one of the worst bonuses to pick here. And finally, Africa unlocks all in. Monthly Xcom funding increased by 30%. A flat money bonus at the end of each month. I can decide how to spend it every time, and this is the one that we're actually gonna be going with. As I've mentioned though, I will be able to acquire all of these bonuses throughout the campaign. That is if I don't mess something up really bad. This is one of the very few long monologues in this series, I promise. And with that, let's jump straight into our first mission.
Listen up. We're going to be dropping you deep in the Nigerian interior for the next operation. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity. Strike 1, this is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
So, having just a quick look at the map here, trying to see if there's any obviously visible mail containers, but I don't see anything from the get-go. Maybe there's something in the shadows over here, but yeah, nothing to go on. Let's have a quick look at the soldiers. So this is a decent distribution actually. It's not gonna be that impactful. We have a 70 aim soldier, which is good. We have 2 65s, which is decent, and 155, which is obviously not that ideal, but we'll have to do. This map is, I haven't played in a long time actually. It's a fairly decent map, I would say. It has a few weird angles, but yeah, I'm usually expecting to have one group hidden in this room in front of us, either right in front of the washing machines, on the door. Okay, we can see a milk container over there, or in that corner over there. There's sometimes a pack. I am going to try not to abuse the Xcom radar. Basically, if you hover over terrain that you cannot see, you will see some tiles that you cannot move into that are obviously should be free, and those tiles have aliens on them. But well, I'll try not to abuse that mechanic, but well, once I see it, I cannot unsee it, and I will act accordingly. And I did saw that in the corner of the room there is a pod. It might be 2, it might be 3, it's a bit hard to tell. Sometimes it's not the most accurate thing, but I can take positions accordingly now. And I'm not in a hurry. If we lose all the meld, we lose all the meld. That's not gonna be a big issue at the very beginning. And well, I think I can see 3 enemies here. And the idea would be to get a grenade on them while they're still grouped. Ideally without destroying the outer wall, because there is a high chance that, although this is a pretty huge map, that outer wall contains maybe 1, maybe even 2 enemy packs. And well, because this is very close proximity, I did decide against grenading blindly. It feels a bit like cheating, to be honest. I was hoping for them to take slightly different positions. The one that ran all the way out there is a bit unfortunate, but we kind of know where he is. We can open that position with a well-placed grenade. And well, as long as I don't take a lot of wall out, I do have the truck in the background to block the view, so there is a high chance that I won't actually activate another pod here. There is always a chance that I will activate, but well, in order to get to that one, I do need to peek out somehow, and going out the door is not going to be an option. That will almost definitely activate something. The most usual locations for enemy pods to start, as I was saying, there is almost always one in this room. There is one in the back alley that we have at the top of the screen now, and generally there's one either in the building behind here or patrolling the alleyway between these 2 buildings, the one that I'm in and the one that is in the back of the screen now. So let's see how to deal with these 3 guys. It is nice that I've activated the pod of 3 first. Okay, this is good. We were fairly lucky. There were no additional activations. I do have to be very careful not to reveal any additional terrain. And I do see the mail container. If you've looked very closely on the screen, there is a mail container on the top of the building. Okay, that was good. That was a 4 hit point shot, which is not guaranteed by far. We can do down to 2 damage. So yeah, these 2 guys should be fairly easy to kill now. I do have a grenade as a backup if this misses. Well, I am hoping to get 100% there, but well, that's not gonna happen. So we have 2 guys. This is 100%er, and that's a dead alien, and this is a 93. I will take the chance. And well, 93 is not by far a guaranteed shot, but I think that was not that big of a risk. Most likely, given the fact that the sectoid was already wounded, he would have fled. I don't think he would have stayed to shoot at us. So on the first map, there's always 3 pods of enemies. There is 1 pod with 2 enemies and 2 pods of 3. Okay, that is highly unrealistic to get it. I don't know if there's a ladder on the other side of the building. There probably was, and if we would have beeline for it, that would have been maybe reachable. But I do like the bridge position, and getting on the roof exposes us to quite a few issues if we get a bad activation. So yeah, that mail container is definitely gone, and given how big this map is and the fact that the other mail container is behind the building that we see at the top of the screen now, that's very unlikely to get any mail this mission. I did get the high ground here, so I'm just gonna crawl and well, see if we get any activation, see if I can get an overwatch shot maybe, although the angles here are quite deceptive, I would say. So we do see that we have aliens right below us. I think that they started in the building to the right or even in the alleyway, and they came in after the noise. And well, it's a very high chance that yeah, they will just patrol the room below us. But yeah, I'm trying to just peek, reveal small areas at a time, areas where we can follow up with some high ground shots, or maybe a grenade and then high ground shots, just to increase our hit chances. Okay, we know that the second... Okay. I was actually expecting the second pot to come from the building. But, well, this is probably one of the best case scenarios that we can have here. We have them somewhat grouped, and we have the high ground. Now, there's a very high probability that okay. I do not understand what just happened, to be fully honest. But anyway, one sectoid ran into the building, the other two are closely docked around the truck, so if we can get that truck to explode, that might be useful. But I'll have to check the replay. I'm sure we have the shot at them. The shot missed, which meant that, well, if we had an overwatch shot at them, the pod should have activated. Cool. So 2 of them are down to 3 HP, and well, this should take care of the problem with 2 of them at least. Make sure that I hit both of them. It's kind of hard to throw grenades blindly, but anyway, the weird part was that when I moved my soldier into position, only then the pod activated, which, well, I guess that's XCOM for you, is what people say, but that one is a new one for me. Anyway, 2 sectoids down, there's 1 more to go. That one ran somewhere into the building. I cannot really see it. I think he's somewhere around the corner, around the wall, but yeah, no obvious line of sight, so
On my way. Okay.
I'll try to play this somewhat safe. Now, I'm relying on the fact that the line of sight is not that great for me, so it shouldn't be that great for him either, so yep, he just wasted both of his moves and didn't get to do anything because the line of sight is that small. As I was assuming earlier, the mail container is all the way in the east of the map, and we're not gonna get there. Let's see what type of shots we have from over here. I'll try to distribute the kills, make sure that at least one kill goes to each soldier. But yeah, there we have it. 2 packs down. The 2 packs of 3 are down. There's only a pack of 2. And if I'm not mistaken, I should still have 1 grenade left. Now there is... the position is known. They were hovering somewhere below us, most likely in the building that we're on top of. And well, it is possible that they're moving onto this building. It is possible that they're moving onto... okay, I said I'll make an effort to see, because I know where they were. It was highly unlikely that I would trigger a pod with those moves. I tried to move towards the mail container, see if we can get it, but well, 1 turn will not get us anywhere. Now the last pod of 2 is either in the alleyway behind us where we started, either in the building below us, or well, now we have a confirmation they're either in the building below us or in the alleyway over here. Kind of hard to tell. I'm assuming that given that they're drawn by the noise and we've made noise on top of that building, I would expect them to be somewhere around there. Wouldn't be completely excluded to be in the back alleyway, although I would say that that is a bit less likely. Anyway, we have the high ground advantage. Let's try to keep it. Although again, I'm not very happy with the line of sight that rooftops give us. It is fairly limited.
Getting it done.
So let's see. Let's try to keep the soldiers somewhat spread so we have flanking options whenever we activate, and try to do a good activation. Now, I'm fairly sure that the moves I'm making right now will not activate anything. We're not revealing any tiles at the bottom of the building, and I will try to have soldiers on 2 sides. Okay, so if I was to venture a guess, I would say that they're right below us right now, given the fact that the noise is coming from both left and right when we move our soldiers just a tiny bit. So yeah, we could use the fact that we can drop on top of them, and that's probably what I'm gonna try to do. And I'll have 1 soldier at the back trying to get a flank, or actually I'll do an even spread here. My hope is that they'll remain this turn right below us.
What the hell was that?
Okay. Again, that's probably Xcom teleporting pods. Okay, that's not a good shot. That's high cover. The other one is somehow in a place where we cannot see him, although that's really weird. Anyway, Xcom sometimes teleports unspotted or unactive pods around the map, because there shouldn't have... the pods do not patrol so much that previous turn they would have been right below us, and now they are all the way over there. Anyway, I am going to risk it a bit here, although I think that the risk is fairly small. I don't think that they will be able to get a sectoid all the way up onto the building, or if a sectoid would have made it onto the building, I think that would have been the only tile he would have made it to and just triggered the overwatch shots. we now have confirmation where both of them are, which is the reason why I think that this ability is one of the worst abilities in the game, because now we have one sectoid, he's down to 1 HP and he's in open ground. We now just have to move in a position where we can see him.
Okay.
And somehow that is not a position where we can see him. I don't want to go to lower ground because the other sectoid is 100% on Overwatch, and
Quiet. Did you hear something?
okay, at least that's one of them taken care of. That's the advantage with the weird line of sight. They have the same line of sight as well, and this one might be able to... okay. That was extremely interesting. I thought that that would have been only one move and that we would be exposed to a potential shot, but so far this game no shots taken on us, which is really great. I will give the last kill to Amy here just to make sure that she gets a promotion, and
Good work out there, Strike One.
that's a successful mission. We have, hopefully, if I counted well, yeah, all soldiers are
Our soldiers have to be feeling good
promoted,
after a mission like that.
so we should have all 4 base classes available, all base abilities, no injuries. We've recovered a fair amount of alien materials. I won't go too much into details here. I always choose weapon fragments when as a first research. I am going to pause the video to talk for just a second. Base management wise, I do want to go for the satellite trust strategy to make sure we don't lose any countries, or to increase our chances not to lose any countries. And for that, for now, we need to excavate the first tile over here where we'll need to build a workshop. Now there are a few things that need to happen in order for this strategy to work. Having a successful first mission is definitely important, but we also need to get the next mission before the 6th, and that mission needs to have engineers as a reward. So either abductions or one of the other missions, but we need engineers as a reward. Let's hope that that happens. This is not the first run that I'm doing, this is actually the 3rd that I'm attempting. I do want to go with that strategy. It's not mandatory, but it's nice, I would say. So let's start excavating and let's see how lucky we are with the alien abductions this time. And I'll try to excavate the other 2 tiles if resources allow to, but that's not mandatory. Let's scan. And we're actually extremely lucky. 2nd of March, we have South Africa, which offers engineers. I'll briefly look through the other ones, but well, that's irrelevant. I think that we have a campaign running here, and that makes me really excited. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and looking forward to this series as much as I am playing it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you here next time.